Do you also wish there were descriptions of how things are done in the business that are easy for new employees to grasp? I'm David Stiernholm, and in this week's episode of Done, I'll tell you how you can use AI to create the simple checklists you're missing. But first, according to a fairly recent German study, we experience different levels of stress and exhaustion depending on whether we are interrupted by email, chat, phone calls, or people in person. That's why it's wise to consider how you personally prefer to receive questions from your colleagues. Why is this important? Well, let me explain in a short video on the Struktör blog. You'll find a link to it in the show notes. Let's say your new employee needs to learn how things are done here. Over the years, you have developed smooth routines and processes, but how do you convey them to the newcomer so they can quickly get into the business? You are quality certified, so the most important processes are documented in the quality system, and some other routines exist hand on heart, mainly in the minds of you and the others who have been working here for a long time. But different people are good at different things. Some are not as good as others at understanding process maps and interpreting what all these rectangles, diamonds, and arrows mean in practice for perfectly understandable reasons. And it's rarely enough to be told something once when you're new to the job and everything is new. Then it would be nice to have a checklist that guides the newly hired through the routine step by step the first time and that they can refer to whenever their memory needs refreshing. However, creating such a checklist takes time and effort. You can let an AI do the rough work. Do this. Open the AI chat you prefer. ChatGPT gave me surprisingly good results when I tested this, while Microsoft Copilot was somewhat less good. And upload a process map to the chat and write a prompt like the one I used. I wrote, "Here's a process map. Some people find it difficult to read those. Can you make a checklist out of this where you step by step explain how the process works instead?" And be amazed at how skillfully the AI interprets the map and translates it into a well-structured checklist. If the process map is a swim lane chart with multiple actors, ask the AI to rewrite the checklist from your perspective if you're one of them. Of course, the AI may not interpret the map correctly, so copy the list, make any necessary adjustments, and save it where your routine descriptions should be stored. If the routine instead is in your head, record yourself explaining how it works step by step. You don't have to describe it entirely correctly structured, but you can redo it, correct yourself, digress a little, and so on. And then transcribe your recording into text. I used my own solution with OpenAI's Whisper, but you can also try a service like Sonix.ai or Descript. I'll include links to both in the show notes. And paste the transcribed text in the AI chat and prompt like I did. I said, "Here I have briefly described how a process works. Can you make a checklist out of this, where you step by step explain how the process works instead?" And copy, adjust, and save the checklist as before. And now you have created 2 checklists without much effort. Because if you let an AI do the rough work of making process maps and in-the-head descriptions more accessible, you make it easier for the newcomer to learn how the job is done. You benefit from the hard work you have already put in, so you don't have to double document your processes. Additionally, what you have in your backbone is documented in a way that is easier to spread to others. Have you used AI to document processes and routines differently? Write to me at david@stiernholm.com and tell me. I am fascinated by the simplification possibilities hidden here, and I would love to hear your best tips. Thank you for today, and see you again next week.